Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It's Tuesday, August 27, the day before Heritage Day 2019 here in Sagersville and McGoffin County. A brief announcement pertaining to the parade in regards to that event and a whole lot of other news as well. Glad to have you with us. Still don't have the football highlights. It's been a rather busy and hectic day. We'll get to those tomorrow. Also, a lot of other local news we're working on, introducing you to, of course, the lovely young contestants for Miss Teen and Miss McGoffin. I think 13 around that for Miss Teen. I think 3 for Miss McGoffin. We'll introduce those to you probably starting as soon as tomorrow. And a lot of other things that happen before we leave you for the Heritage Day and holiday weekend. Weather-wise, one more little round of some showers. I'm thinking it's going to be little, and then some smooth sailing starting about mid-morning tomorrow, and thereafter a beautiful forecast. It's even gotten better since I saw you last. Local headlines in just a few seconds. We start off tonight talking about a doctor from Pike County who, via an emergency order by the Kentucky Board of Medical Licensure, has seen her privileges, her license suspended. She's identified in reports as Dr. Crystal Compton, and she's been under investigation since August of last year, right at a year now that the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services, as well as the Kentucky Board of Medical Licensure, have investigated her for overprescribing opioids, and not just opioids in general, but a deadly combination of opioids to her patients, most often, or often at least, without referring them to see pain therapists or specialists to help them with their ailments. Her practice was deemed dangerous to those who saw her in a medical fashion, and once again, an emergency order has suspended her of her license to practice. I do have a brief update. I told you yesterday about the fatal ATV accident involving a Johnson County man. Graveside services have now been set for 11 o'clock in the morning at the Lakeview Memorial Cemetery in Staffordsville for 67-year-old Gerald Arrowwood, known by all who knew him as Bubby. He is survived by his wife Debbie White, 3 daughters, Stephanie Arrowwood, Amy Elizabeth Ward of Sagersville, and Emily Marie Arrowwood of Paintsville, as well as a host of other family and friends. Once again, graveside services tomorrow morning at 11. No visitation prior to those services. He was killed when he was discovered to have gone over a steep embankment onto the railroad tracks below in Johnson County. As I told you last night, it was an accident that was handled by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department, who said it appears as though he just simply lost control of that ATV and died and was pronounced dead on scene as a result of his injuries. Kentucky's state auditor, Mike Harmon, has released a not so glowing report on Kentucky's retirement system and the teacher retirement system, saying they have both failed to comply with a new law passed just 2 years ago unanimously requiring increased transparency in Kentucky's public retirement systems. That's the conclusion he reached in a special examination that was released earlier today by Harmon's office.
Senate Bill 2 requires the retirement systems to disclose contracts and fees paid to investment managers. Now, the purpose of Senate Bill 2 was to provide transparency to legislators, state employees, and taxpayers as to how public pension funds were being invested and spent. Now, our examination found that the 2 largest retirement systems, KRS and TRS, are not, I'll repeat it one more time, are not in compliance with the requirements of Senate Bill 2. Now, while there are some things KRS and TRS have improved upon since the passage of Senate Bill 2, both systems have failed to follow the spirit of transparency that was intended by the General Assembly.
Harmon says the report identifies 10 issues relating to transparency, administration, and compliance with Senate Bill 2. He says that both systems, KRS and TRS, have fallen drastically short of what Senate Bill 2 required on the public posting of investment contracts, saying that KRS has failed to post 86% of 281 investment contracts, and at TRS, roughly 81%, or 136 contracts of the total investment contracts TRS has had as of July the 24th, weren't posted for public review on their website. The KRS system, he says, allows external investment managers to control access to public information, which includes letting investment managers redact information including conflicts of interest, expenses and fees, incentive allocation, and management fees. Simply put, says the auditor, it is vital for the retirement system to meet all requirements of Senate Bill 2, not just some. Our employees, retirees, and taxpayers deserve nothing less. As we continue our local governmental coverage, the Big Sandy Jail Board met late last week. They had some good news to discuss, and it all came pretty early on in the meeting. They were able to, after a substantial payment from one of the 4 participating counties, they were able to make a motion and unanimously vote to drop a lawsuit that they had filed against that county, which had been ongoing for some time, being paid right at around $300,000 that has long time been owed to the facility. One of the biggest things, certainly financially, to come out of the regular meeting of the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center Jail Authority Board was a motion and a unanimous vote to drop the ongoing lawsuit against Martin County, one of the 4 participating or supporting counties of the Big Sandy Jail. A lawsuit which has been ongoing now for quite some time, in which the jail board was seeking to be paid almost $300,000 in overdue housing costs and health care costs as well. With Chairman Daniel Castle glad to announce that Martin County had paid their bill in full and then some, while the next discussion centered around bringing a program into the jail to give inmates a skill set upon release.
How can we start it, from a foundation standpoint? Where do we need to begin with this? Because this is an undertaking that's not been done before, to where we can look at a county level, trying to help inmates, within our jail here, walk away with some type of certification, so where they can get a job, because, we want them not to come back and want to help out the families and, do things of that nature.
Information pertaining to that subject was presented by Tammy Castle, the Skills U Director, which I spoke with at the McGoffin County Fiscal Court meeting about a month and a half ago or so, when we were talking about the adult education program being moved into the back of the community center here in Sagersville. She actually started the adult education program back in 1992, then left for a long time and just returned as the director, and sees ways that the jail can improve the program, which only had about 3 students last year.
Now that's not all, I'm not saying that's the jail's fault. Sometimes a student will come in, as you know, and they'll stay overnight or they'll stay 2 or 3 days and then they're gone again. So that's a big reason for that. The other reason, I think, is that, and this is no fault of anyone's, but there's a small space where she can only see probably 1 to 2 students at a time. And then before she can enroll these folks, they need to have testing done, and that's a state mandate. I don't think that the jail right now has the space available to make available students, 5 or 6 at a time to come to class. So they get discouraged about that. So when I talked with Daniel and Byron, we talked about maybe some possibility of expansion, not expanding the jail, but maybe just finding some additional space for these students to finish. Because if they don't get that GED, then they're not going to get the training that they need. And I think the college, I can't speak for the college, and that's another meeting, but I think the college would entertain at least the thought of expanding some training for these folks before they are released. But I think we need to approach this with a grassroots kind of thinking. They need to get the GED and then move on to bigger and better things.
Castle explained that the program would be free. They actually got a grant from the Dollar General Foundation that pays for all the GEDs, not just the ones they're offering through the jail, but all the GEDs that the program offers. The Big Sandy Jail Board said that they would most certainly, and as soon as possible, make any and all accommodations for the size of the room they need and whatever, seeing the potential for a positive impact. Your new IGA has fresh brewed coffees and delicious donuts made 7 days a week. Daily made breads piled high with any meat or cheese you can think of. and come and taste the salads, broccoli and cauliflower, cornbread, and their gourmet chicken salad made fresh right here. They've got fruit and vegetable and meat trays made with a little love, and celebrate anything with perfectly professionally made cakes, all fresh and ready for your next meal, party, or event at your Sagersville IGA, where it's a new day, place, and way to shop. Never seen what's inside the seasonal shop? You've never seen anything like it. And if you have seen what's inside the seasonal shop, you've never seen it like this. From all the styles of pillows, dishware, bedding, and wall hangings, it's full of beautiful home decor. And there are frames for anyone and any occasion. There are neat and unique ways to design and do it yourself. There are flowers too perfect to be real. And from expecting moms to newborns, toddlers, teens, and adults, the fashions and designs and jewelry are simply endless and always changing at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop. Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to conleytire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by for huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424.
Appalachian Wireless has a question for you. Would you rather pay $650 or $66 for a smartphone? If you think this answer is simple, then the Appalachian Advantage Plan is for you. Pay less upfront for today's hottest smartphones, and then pay just a few dollars more every month on the monthly bill. Many smartphones are $5 a month or less after you factor in the $20 discount from the Advantage Plan compared to the contract offering. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless. Payment agreement required. See store for details.
Whether it's game time, family time, or any kind of fun or hungry time, it's always a perfect time for the party platter from your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe. 20 crispy buffalo wings, 20 hot and spicy wings, fried pickles, cheese sticks, jalapeno poppers, mini corn dogs, jumbo breast strips, and spicy jumbo dippers. It feeds a crowd for only $34.99, and you get $3 off if you call and order one at least a day ahead. It's party time at your Sagersville Lee's. It all began yesterday, and the FBI and Kentucky school superintendents are reiterating today that there is, at this point, still no valid threat to it whatsoever. Per remarks by the FBI field office out of Louisville, two vague threats made in another state against a school, unidentified, or schools in Arkansas and Kentucky appears to be just that, a vague and unsubstantiated threat that they are still continuing to investigate just as a precaution. Many Kentucky school superintendents, as well as I'm sure several in Arkansas as well, are stressing in repeating remarks and findings of the FBI. Here in Kentucky, we're quoting the FBI at Louisville field office in regards to what they say is still an unsubstantiated threat. The FBI noting today again that they are aware of an unspecified internet threat against two unnamed schools in Kentucky and in Arkansas for August the 28th and 29th respectively. The FBI says that initially the threat was reported to the FBI in Little Rock from an individual outside the United States, and the threat was read in a gaming chat room that indicated there was going to be an incident at a Kentucky and Arkansas school on those 2 days. They stressed the threat did not name a specific location in either state and was very generalized. And at this time, and still ongoing, the complaint remains unsubstantiated. If anything further develops from this report, they will push out additional information as it becomes available. Breathitt County's top elected official is in jail this afternoon. He was arrested and taken into custody and placed in the Three Forks Regional Jail earlier this morning, not only on the original indictment warrant that we learned about just a little more than a week or so ago, but also more than a dozen new charges related to the abuse of public funds. The story began earlier this month where, in his absence while he was on family vacation, Breathitt County Judge Executive Jeff Noble was indicted by the Breathitt County Grand Jury on 3 counts related to the use of public funds for personal use, reportedly spending some $704 and some change to purchase lumber material that was given to a private citizen and not for county use but otherwise personal use. The indictment charged him with abuse of public trust, theft by unlawful taking, and official misconduct. However, he was arrested earlier today and now faces another 16 additional new charges of first-degree official misconduct, and a count of abuse of public trust for less than $10,000, and another count of theft by unlawful taking, also under $10,000. It appears as though these new charges accuse him of purchasing from the Jiffy Mart in Breathitt County diesel fuel for his truck, nearly $1,000 worth, over the course of 16 different occasions, and paying for it with county money. After his arrest, he was lodged in the Three Forks Regional Jail. In local headlines coming up in just a few moments, there was a single vehicle crash around 2:30 this morning. A car says the teenager who was found on site was driven by her when she lost control and crashed into that utility pole. She faces serious charges, felony drug charges as well. I'll take you to the scene of that briefly in just a few moments. Right now, it's Magoffin Farm Bureau Community Calendar time. With Heritage Day getting ready to kick off this Wednesday evening, that is tomorrow. Can you believe it? And we'll be taking a look at your Miss Teen contestants tomorrow as well. It is time to start reminding everyone about the parade procedures. Pageant winners will line up at Logan Corporation Saturday at noon. Floats will line up at the Magoffin County Funeral Home, and all of the grand marshals, and that's school grand marshal floats too, will meet up and line up at the Sagersville or Dyer Funeral Home. That is also tentative that there are no funeral services ongoing at that time at those two locations. The Magoffin County Shrine Club has a special meeting set for this Thursday night at 7. All members are urged to attend. And don't forget, the Farm Field Day is coming up September the 17th. Probably pull this one off the calendar for a while, and we'll put it back on right before the event, September the 17th, at the Avavian and Rick Deaton Farm on Bear Branch. The program starts at 6 following registration and a meal, and a whole lot of topics will be discussed. They hope you'll join them. This is for everyone, and there's hay rides for everyone too, even the little people. And your calendar announcement is greatly needed. If you want it known about, get it here. Tell us, and we'll tell everyone else about it. Birthdays and anniversaries too. One funeral service announcement this evening. It comes in honor of 89-year-old Geraldine Howard Salyer, who passed away on the 24th, preceded in death by her husband Aaron. She's survived by sons Jerry and Larry and Gary and Terry Lee Salyer, and daughters Joy, Elaine Holbrook, and Vonda Gale Stahl. Visitation continues this evening. Services begin tomorrow at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Big Sandy Healthcare and Hope Family Medical Center are proud to announce the newest addition to their staff and team of over 200 dedicated employees and medical professionals. Podiatrist Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney has joined Big Sandy Healthcare at the Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville on Mariah Boulevard, just a couple of doors up from the least famous recipe. For anything minor or serious foot or ankle related, Dr. Stalder Cheney is now accepting new patients at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National.
Car wrecks, truck wreck, disability, workers' comp, slip and fall, wrongful death. Your case matters to you.
Your case matters to us. Contact McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
Here's a little of what's new at Parkway Gun and Pawn. A big selection of hunting, bowie knives, some to use, some to collect, or both, starting as low as $14.99 a piece. Hey gamers, while they last, they just got in 2 PS4 Pro editions in perfect condition. And as new, still in the packaging, big flat screens at big discounts. A new selection of kitchen gear and appliances, and even a new in-the-box 30-gallon electric hot water heater. You never know what you're going to save on, but you're always going to save at Parkway Gun and Pawn. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville. 349-8785. Just like that, we've jumped into the spring allergy season with all the buds and blooms, tree and grass pollen, mold, and all the nasal congestion, sneezing, itchy nose and eyes and throat that they cause. Don't get caught off guard. Protect yourself daily with a quick trip to Parkway Pharmacy for over-the-counter and prescription relief. And you can always log into parkwaypharmacy.com to have your prescriptions ready when you get there at Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville. This was the scene as was captured with these photographs around 2:30 this morning, just a short distance above the newsroom, maybe a mile and a half to 2 miles at the mouth of Mash Fork, if you will. That's where authorities found a vehicle which had crashed into a utility pole, breaking it in half about halfway up. Sagersville Fire and Rescue and police personnel responded to Route 40 last night where a motor vehicle, a passenger car, collided with a utility pole near the junction of Mash Fork and Route 40. You can see where the utility pole was broken in half about 12, 14 feet up or so and landed over on the sidewalk in front of this residence. People living in the area heard the crash, came out, some of them telling officers that they saw what appeared to be multiple people in the car, but when officers arrived, there was only one individual, a teenager, who was outside of the vehicle and still on scene upon arrival of emergency personnel. She claimed to be the driver, and she also claimed responsibility for a change purse inside the vehicle, which had in it a small quantity of what was believed to be methamphetamine. Officer Mike Nichols is still investigating if there was anyone else in the car or around the scene when it happened, while the teenager refused medical treatment at the scene, while she, that being 18-year-old Caitlin Gibson, was charged with DUI, reckless driving, felony possession of methamphetamine, an intermediate operator's license violation, criminal mischief, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, weather-wise, to wrap it up this evening, I'm so enjoying when you have forecasts like this. You like to talk about them, especially when they fall right on top of a holiday and festival weekend, and that's what we've got going on right now. A few showers to deal with tonight as this second of two fall-like cold fronts rolls through in just a few days. But after it's all said and done, after it rolls out tomorrow, we're going to be sitting in the upper 70s, low 80s for days with a lot of sunshine and clear skies. Yeah, here it is. One more cold front to go before we're going to be sitting pretty. I don't expect to see much severe weather out of this. Could get caught under a good little thunderstorm later on. It definitely does warrant keeping our eye on the weather as this front's making its way into central Kentucky right about now. But I just can't help but concentrate and think about what we're going to see on the backside of this thing when it's all out of here and said and done after some slowly, gradually clearing skies tomorrow. With that in mind, I'm so enjoying bringing you your Licking Valley RECC Outlook just in time for Heritage Days and the Labor Day weekend. Wow, what a winner. 66 tonight. Okay, now we'll remove tonight out of that equation. 66, cloudy, those showers rolling through. Nothing on the severe side right now, but just the result of the second of two really fallish cold fronts that we have seen in just the past few days. And on the back side of that, look at what we've got. Becoming sunny. It's going to be a slow go to get there tomorrow on your Wednesday, but we'll hit about 80, down to 51 tomorrow night. Like I said, some clouds hanging tough, maybe through mid-morning, mid-afternoon, but becoming sunny. Clear skies tomorrow night, a little fog late tomorrow night, lingering over into your early Thursday morning, and 79 sunny degrees thereafter on Thursday. Nighttime lows around 54, still clear skies. Friday, 84 and 60, sunny and mostly clear. And for your weekend, of course, we've got, of course, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday nights, all big nights downtown. It's going to be a little bit on the cool side. You'll want to take a jacket, but you will not have to take an umbrella. It's going to be nice. So, with that said, that gets us through Friday. And then for the weekend, we're talking about temperatures still in the low 80s, still sunny, clear, calm, and beautiful. Saturday, mostly sunny and 84, low 60s that night. Sunday, mostly sunny and 85, low 60s that night, mostly clear. Labor Day, for those of you who have that day off, 84 and sunny, and no excuses not to get out and enjoy it. Mostly clear that night and 62. The trend doesn't even quit there. It rolls on to next Tuesday as well, still sunny and the mid-80s. Well, that's it for my time. Nowhere close to being all the news that we already have to try to squeeze in for the rest of the week. So as I always say, please join us for the next edition of Your News Today. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.